Last week, my 17-year-old daughter, Amelie, sent me a text when she was at school that said, so some kid got mad because he's tired of wearing a mask and he punched a locker. I sent her back maybe a slightly snarky response, but then about 15 minutes later, I sent her back another text that said, but was he being a jerk or was it something else? I think all of these changes are hard emotionally on you all. I mean, sometimes I kind of want to punch something too. She texted me back, same. What is empathy? Empathy is same. I so miss giving people I love a hug. Same. I'm really anxious about talking in front of people. Same. I'm worried about my statistics test. Same. I miss students gathering around my desk to chat. Same. A couple of months ago, my daughter attended a protest, and she and those around her were sprayed with tear gas. Later, she told me that when the tear gas was sprayed into the crowd, people who were out of range of the poisonous air ran towards the smoky, choking air, not away from it, so that they could pour baking soda water or milk into the eyes of those who were gassed. What is empathy? Empathy is running towards someone's pain. You meet a friend in the grocery store and you see worry clouding her once bright eyes. You don't look away. I see you. You are busy working at your desk and a fellow colleague sends you an email that says, I'm having a really hard time. You stop working. I hear you. A student in the middle of a Zoom class blurts out that his parents are getting a divorce. You stop teaching. I am so sorry. I feel your pain. Empathy is metaphorically running into tear gas and pouring baking soda water or milk into someone's stinging eyes. The theme of this conference is the transformative power of connection. And I believe that empathy is the magic that connects us. This is a hard time. We are walking along a socially distanced path that no one has walked before us. We greet each other wearing literal masks, but also maybe hiding behind some emotional ones. Our hands are cracked and dry from washing them so many times. Sometimes our souls feel cracked and dry too from loneliness. I think that as educators, this time is both a challenge and a gift. I used to be a doula, which means that I stayed with women as they went through labor and provided them with emotional and physical support. I would sit in front of them, hold their hands, look into their eyes, and breathe in and out during their contractions. I would spend hours squeezing their hips to relieve their backs of just a little bit of the pain that they were experiencing. When they told me that maybe they didn't think they could do this anymore, I would walk the hospital halls with them and assure them that yes, they could. Yes, they could. I wasn't a midwife, but the word midwife means with woman. As I supported women in labor, I was just with them. I couldn't make their babies come any faster. I couldn't take away their pain, but I could be with them through their pain. And then when their babies were born and the pain was forgotten, I was with them in their joy. I think in a lot of ways, we as educators are like midwives. We can't take away this pandemic. We can't take away the struggles that our students and teachers are having as they adapt to learning and teaching online. We can't step into a colleague's office to chat about a difficult situation or even just talk about last night's crazy football win. We can't bridge this season's loneliness with a hug. We can't celebrate with joy together. But just as I was with women as they struggled through labor, so we can find ways to be with our students and colleagues. And we do that with empathy. Empathy for the student who is late again, turning in her assignment. Empathy for a colleague whose emails have been just a little tense. And empathy for ourselves when we find that we are so tired. So, what is empathy? Empathy is what connects you to me and me to you. Empathy is the magic that brings life to the transformative power of connection. If you are familiar at all with the ELA courses, then you know that we here at Mizzou Academy are a big fan of community poems. If I would have had time today, I would have had us all contribute to a community poem, but we don't have time. So I asked some people to finish the sentence starter, empathy is, and then I compiled those into a community poem. Catherine and I are going to share this poem with you. And at the end, during the Q&A time, if any of you would like to share your thoughts on this filling in the sentence starter, empathy is, I would love to hear it. What is empathy? Empathy is for all beings.
Acting on the belief that we belong together.
Listening hard and becoming vulnerable to what we hear.
Feeling for someone enough that you can feel their sorrow or joy.
Thinking of others first.
Sympathy turned inside out.
Caring.
Wearing someone else's skin.
Honoring someone else right where they are and being able to enter that space with them.
Embracing the souls of persons around you.
Being flexible.
Being the human I would want as a teacher if I were a teenager in a pandemic.
Letting people know it's okay not to be okay.
Putting yourself in another's place and understanding how they feel.
Letting someone you love have the last bite and the last say.
Seeing through the eyes and heart of the other.
Knowing the line where you end and I begin, and knowing that that line is blurred.
Empathy is the transformative power of connection.